Subtitle, Hello Pop Consumer Society, is the lady allowed in? And let's talk about Funk Jensen and the possibilities of Jean Grey Phoenix being in Doomsday. Because the actress gave an interview that I mentioned here earlier on our channel saying that she is very happy, that people remember her, that people hold her role, Jean Grey, in high regard, but that she wasn't in the movie, that awkward vibe. Even more so because the scene had recently leaked that Phoenix was going to fight Scarlet Witch. It seems that, once again, it's not going to happen. This is a rumor that circulated during the anticipation for Multiverse of Madness, but it ended up not happening and was left for Doomsday. And it seems like it's not going to happen either, because by all indications, Jensen really isn't in Doomsday, especially after her last podcast interview. And she makes it very clear that she's not interested in a role where she has few lines. That going back to this role in a position that isn't very prominent, just to say one or two lines, and that's it. At her career stage, it's not interesting. Even though she starred in Knights of the Zodiac, a movie made with 2 peanut candies and a guaravita juice, she's working on other projects, more intimate ones, with less publicity, and where she has a leading role, where she even takes part in the production. That's been much more interesting for her after so many years in movies in her career, to have a job where she can experiment with new things, than returning to her role from 25 years ago to say 2 lines, because, let's be honest, it wouldn't be a big role anyway. No X-Men will have a major role in this movie. As I always say on the channel, the movie is about the Avengers, not the X-Men. The X-Men are just cameos in this movie, and she would be just another one of them. So there are a few ways to interpret what she says that can be found here. First, she's clearly lying and is actually in the movie, so she made up this story to deny it. In my view, she could just say, no, I am. We didn't talk about that subject, let it go, but she gave details about the movies she's making. She kind of dismissed it. About the movie, I think when someone pretends they're not in the role, they don't reject it. They just change the subject, as we see. It comes off as a bit rude, and she dismissed it. I'm simply not interested in a role where I don't have some prominence. The other option would be that she was actually ignored by the production. They didn't give her any calls, and she's hurt, she's resentful, she's bitter. She's hurt with Marvel for not calling her back to play Jean Grey again, since she said she likes to be remembered as Jean Grey. It could even be that she's just acting like the fox and the grapes, saying the grapes are sour because she can't reach them. And then she's playing that card, saying she has something better to do. Since she really wasn't invited, and another possibility is that she actually wasn't invited at all. She's not in Marvel's plans, or she was approached and turned it down. And she doesn't care, and she doesn't give a damn about it. To appear in the movie Avengers in a second. So, I don't want to remember that she made a quick appearance in Wolverine. She made a quick appearance in Days of Future Past, and that was fine, but it was a while ago. If I had to guess here, I really don't think she is. The way she talked, the level of detail she gave, and the way she talked about her career, I don't think she's in it. It can't be that she really wasn't invited, and maybe she would have accepted if she had been. So she's kind of doing that. She might be making excuses for her absence, or maybe she wasn't invited, and maybe a fee she would get for special appearances, depending on the amount of that fee. So she can produce the 3 or 4 independent films she likes to make, that she prefers to do, so she plays Jean Grey here, spends a day filming, takes the big paycheck, and funds other things, so you can divide it into several situations. The fee wasn't as high as she would have liked, so it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth going there, saying 3 lines and leaving. She had other plans. Sometimes the schedule didn't work because she's busy with other projects, which she even suggested herself. It's hard for us to really know what's happening behind the scenes, but right now I'm more focused on this. for Jean Grey not to be there. So we have a few absences. Of the original X-Men, note Hugh Jackman is excluded. Maybe Hugh Jackman will show up at another time where he gave us Secret Wars as Wolverine, I think. I think he'll show up. I think there's still a possibility he'll appear. But Jean Grey is kind of like that. Then I wonder if Halle Berry is absent too, and maybe Jean Grey died in that universe. She died until X-Men 3, but then in the Forgotten Diffitude, the story is retold. So we can't even consider that if it were the Fox X-Men, she would be out, maybe she would be in, precisely because the Fox X-Men chronology ended in Forgotten Diffitude. So there would still be Jean Grey, but maybe the audience would remember her dying more and get confused with her coming back. They'll have this difficulty introducing these X-Men without having to answer questions about the old movies. I think for us who are here talking, it's already clear that these are variants and not the same as the who made the Fox movies. They're not the same characters. There's no need to make an exact timeline. But it's just that the general audience might find that confusing and start asking questions that might not be answered right away. But then, can we consider that some X-Men might be missed? Maybe Jean Grey has already died. At this point, we even have a line about that. Grey died, blah. There are people saying that since Emma Frost is going to be Cyclops' partner, I think that's necessary. A comment about X-Men who had died, even those just then on the ground, would be noteworthy. Important to show the power and the evil and the perversion of Doctor Doom in a fight with the X-Men that we saw in that lake from a piece of Sentinel in a large mansion courtyard. Maybe it's the Xavier Mansion. So these are things that might be happening in this movie. From what she said, it seems to me that she feels very free to say that she's not interested in a minor role at this stage in her career. We understand, right? Although I think it would be interesting to bring 3 back, yes, no matter the cost, but come on, it can't be that expensive. Once her career isn't like that, a big movie star, she's doing these narrative projects, and I think she would accept if she were invited, right? For the right price. I think she might also be kind of dismissive. But what about you guys? What do you think about all this? Go ahead and write it down below. We'll be back soon. See you later. See you soon. See you in a bit. And that was another episode of Four Coisas. The channel posts at least 3 videos daily, Monday through Sunday. If you enjoyed them, here are more suggestions to watch. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell for new updates. Thank you very much. See you next time.